call them Husain frames. I see better. I
Hey
be trying
everyone,
to.
it's Rocky Rocket, and welcome to the Rocky Road. This is a show that supports independent music artists and the music professionals who support these artists as well. I'm here today with young Husain. How are you doing?
Better than ever. Like a little
Mm,
kid at the candy store.
hey, let's get it. So, um, Hussein, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself as an artist and how you got started in the industry?
Like all the OGs before me, just like, like the Kikis, the Kings, Pokey, ESG, like all of Mike D, Screw, D-Rick, Noki D, Big Mo, Big Ho, the whole SUC, you know what I'm saying? Just like they just influence so much. Made me do what I would do now, today. Okay, getting it together.
So, what made you decide to become officially a music artist?
Like pretty much like just the respect and like just like when you actually like had purpose, like what we was talking about, like you done something, like it just pretty much making something out of nothing. And it's just like turning thoughts and like and just making gold with it, like songs that's 20 years old, when people hear them, it's just like they hearing it for the first time. Just to create something like that, it's just like, it calling me. Just like even when I hear like the OGs freestyle, just to like, like go down the line in the crowd and just like make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? And coming from where I come from, like just like easy. It's like second nature, you know what I'm saying? But everybody don't take it serious. Then when I like just think about it, like it takes it so big, it's like, they went platinum just here. It's like, single after single. Just like, and they created something that the whole world wanted to be a part of.
Your daughter say
No, this is my son. He's so goofy.
Oh,
Yeah, like they so goofy, but yeah. But actually, like when we was talking about earlier, like when they started like and like they looked at me like in a different light. You know what I'm saying? I was just proud that I made them proud to be like to do something like that.
yeah.
Why not take it serious? So yeah, then you got like I don't know, like you've been around here, G, so you like got to see and just to hear the stories that just you know they build something from the ground up and people still use it today. It's like that's real life. Just to have the opportunity to even follow in the
So
footsteps.
say that how long would you say that you've been in the industry? Or, I guess been rap.
Yeah, it seemed like forever. Like all my life, it just like I've like had a love for music, but it's just like far as like being a rapper, I never looked at myself like as a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Because I had kids early, so it's just like I had different priorities. But somehow, some way, I always came back to the music, and so it was just like, well, maybe I should like. And you actually help with a lot of this, like with the how I go about getting shows and everything. You like artists shouldn't pay for shows, and like even though you wasn't like a rapper or artist, you spoke from the artist's point of view, and you know that's something like nobody ever did. It seemed like everybody wanted to take, but you was willing to give. You know what I'm saying? So I was automatically drawn to that. How I get to the next step. People like can say you talented, but then you know like action speaks louder than words. So you know it's rare. So I was just like, why not take it serious? Because you like seem like a serious person. So it's just like, you know, why not? Like from that point on, I like valued your opinion. So it's just like, and then you know, ESG, like that's a little homie. Shasta be like, you know, like okay, I'm going down the right path. Why not?
So you just recently actually shot a video at the Screwed Up Records and Tapes location on Fuquay, on West Fuquay.
Yeah.
What inspired that song, and what inspired you to shoot that scene at Screwed Up Records and Tapes?
I always had like the dream of that. Like I want to say when I'm going to buy back the original screw bit on cutting, I'm gonna need like you know like all the OGs to let me know like you know what I'm saying we're gonna like reinvent it just like how it was when he was here. It's just like you know that's a part of culture. That should be like a landmark, and to be like for it to be here and at all the artists from Texas exposed it and they don't use it. I just you know I pass by it every day and that's like you know like that screw. He started like screwed and chop, you know, tap like you know what I'm saying, the legend, you know, like and for it to be right there and like people pass it every day, and you know, I just learned to cherish stuff early, you know what I'm saying? So, and then when the Sucker Free came up, Shasta's actually my cousin. That's what I just thought about, just like the OG, you know what I'm saying? Sucker Free, and you know, that's the lane that I originally started in. Then you know, got in the country, put the cowboy hat on, you know, like, and then that fit too. So it's just like I don't want to be just like one way. I mean, that worked for them, but you know, they didn't just get in the game; they stayed in the game. Longevity is just like you know, just even being next to
So
those greats.
cousin?
Yeah. Well, yeah. The mother of my first two kids is her cousin. But you know, like we was on the road together. We was just working. You know what I'm saying? Like he used to always come around. Then we ended up like he started a business and let me drive for him. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like I was trying to hold in that point that I was a fan. You know what I'm saying? It's just like he right here, but you know, like I say, all my favorite rappers are from here. But it's just like still get starstruck. So it's just like yeah. Then he got a chance to hear some of my music. Then like couldn't tell me nothing. It's just like, you know, like take it serious then. You know, might got a chance to do something. So
Wow.
yeah, I know. Yeah,
So you
yeah.
are tied um in a few different ways. What has been one of the highest points of this road for you as an independent hip hop artist so far?
Like just to acknowledge me, you know what I'm saying? Like when I we was talking about this show and what was it? It was Nacogdoches, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For like everybody to be waiting on ESG and Lil Flip. But I got to see them before they got to the show. And when ESG come in, he acknowledged me. Cause you know, I got the cowboy hat on. I'm not even thinking I'm finna see y'all. And then like, not to talk, cause I'm short too. But you know, like you made me feel tall. I turned around. Then ESG tapped you. I remember like it was yesterday. He was like, Rocket, look. I'm like, You know what I'm saying? Yes, you know who I am. You know, like this Mr. Swinging and Banging. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, I was a fan, so it's just like, yeah. I tell this story all the time. People be like, for real. But I don't want to use that, you know what I'm saying? Because they talk, like, I learned so much from indirectly. It's just like, I want to learn how to do what they did, you know what I'm saying? Not to be like, oh, I came up because of ESG. Because that's like, I got a couple of songs with Shasta, but I want to establish myself. But that's what he told me that I should do, you know what I'm saying? So I want to learn, you know, like, and I think they some of the best to ever do it. So, you know, just to be there, like, have him acknowledge me, like, that's still a high for me. Like, it's just like, it's a high point. And I don't like really care what nobody else think. Like, can't tell me nothing about them. Like, they influence the whole culture. For real. They almost started a whole bar fight. They were like, Houston try to be the new Atlanta. No disrespect to Atlanta, but Atlanta is just the old Houston, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, and I feel like if they had what we got now, it would be no contest. If they had the internet and then like to get their music out at the push of a button, that'd be crazy. Could you just imagine like how many people would really know Big Hawk and Big Mo, and you know what I'm saying? Like all those people, if they had Instagram or like the music platforms we got now, Apple Music or anything, it wouldn't be no contest. It's just like, but the fact that they was before their time, you know what I'm saying? And I still believe in them. Like having the world screwed up, like that's still like a goal of mine. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, they can't go like, they got to get all the credit. See? And I don't mind putting the work in. So it's just like, cause it's not really work, like they say when you're doing what you love to do. So I just fell in love with it, man. You know, and Texas artists made that happen for me. So least I can do is take it serious. Cause I didn't take it serious at first. I just knew I had like a way with words, but now like know how to put a song together, and now I'm trying to figure out the next steps. Not just putting a song together, not just getting in the game, staying in the game. Cause like you can like do a song that's 20 years old, like you play the South Side right now, and Zero like my favorite rapper. It's just like you play the most he done anywhere, like the whole club. You know what I'm saying? That song's so old, but word for word they sing, and I want to know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? And they all here right now. Don't wait till they dead to give them their flowers. Like they OGs right now. They paved the way. So I feel like
And
why not?
you started kind of sort of talking about before we started this was how they did that, right? Because the way that ESG, Flip, Youngster, like all of these independent artists, all these Slim Thug, all of them, the way that they did things from before, I don't want to say that you can't do it that way, but it's not the same game. It's not the same. And one thing though I could tell you that they had in common with where you're at is they focused on their fans, right? They focused on building that rapport, building that contact. And something that I tell people, independent artists all the time, is you can't let that be lost in this internet era.
Yeah. And that's why I try not to do. You know what I'm saying? Like if I do a song from I got like a favorite song from everybody, like from here. I got a favorite song. And I'm like a student of the game. Like when I really started taking it, well, I like when people used to buy CDs, like every CD that they dropped was on my wall, like the cover of it. And I'm like, I'm a student of the game. So like ESG is like a big deal too. You know what I'm saying? But for him to still be like relevant and still be here, it's like that's like a big deal. You know what I'm saying? If he can like even just give me a little bit of game, you know what I'm saying? Because he was the reason like the South and the North came together. Him and Slip Thug, they brought that whole thing together with the braids and the fades. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was like close to the king. You know what I'm saying? Robert Earl Davis. So just to like even have that, like get the OGs they flowers where they here. You know what I'm saying? Because without them, it ain't no like it's no double cup. It's maybe no even Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't do what they did first.
Yeah.
So
And there's definitely something to be said about that, but I you have to find your own, right?
yeah, and that's what I'm coming
Like
into now.
that you're a fan of them and what they've done, and you appreciate them, and that's beautiful. But coming up with who you are is more important, so that you can give them the flowers that they deserve, right?
Yeah, and that's why I do what I do.
Give their proper platform till you build your own. That is the most important thing, that you have to focus on yourself, because it's like Shasta told you, you have the connections, you have the respect, but now you have to make it make sense for yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do. Because
I trust me, I know.
To separate yourself from every thing that you love, and really figure out who you are as an independent artist. And of course, not saying that the bigger artists couldn't help you do that, but it would only go so far, because at the end of the day, your fans, without your own fan base, it really does no good for people like ESG and Shasta and Slim and all of that. So yeah, that's the biggest part of it.
Yeah, and that's what I like wanted to learn. You know what I'm saying? Just like not to do what they did, but it's just like like when you follow in those footsteps, you walking alongside the grapes. You know what I'm saying? It's like giants. You know what I'm saying? I want to know like how do I do that? Show me how to do it so I can do it for my own. Because like they may have started me into rapping, but then like I like country too, and I'm like we talked about this before, like just mixing the two together. I feel like I found my own lane, but through them. I don't want to ever forget that. I want to always keep balance, because when I started taking it serious, balance helped me. Like, yeah, I want to just salute them right here. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I know that like people have hidden agendas and I don't have one. I just like, I appreciate them. You know what I'm saying? Like even with you, if you help me just a little bit, I'm not used to help. So whenever I get that, I cherish it. I appreciate it. I'll be like, thank you. I'm humble. But then I know I got a talent too. So it's just like, but I don't want to come off as cocky. I'm not cocky. I really worked on this. I studied this, like all of them. It's just like they traits and they mannerism. You know what I'm saying? It's just like they whole hand movements high. Like Kiki had to like.
And now it's about you taking what you like about everyone that you've seen and making it a part of your own brand. But that's the thing. It's got to be your brand, right? It's got to be what people know you for. And that is the thing, that doing it consistently is going to help you to produce these types of results, that you're seeing that ESG and all of the legends have made. You've got to make fans, and the fans are going to lift you up and put you on that level. It you know, Kiki, ESG, all of the legends can co-sign you all day, but if you don't have fans, then it's not gonna make a difference at all. So that is the biggest goal, is to try to figure out how can you build these fans. From what I've seen on the stuff that you do on your page, on your social media page, you consistently post different posts. But so, you know, I told you what some of my favorites are.
Yeah, I know.
Those who
And
are
those some of
watching,
my favorites too.
yeah, so to those who are watching, I love young Husain's social media post where he posts him lip syncing like country music songs in cowboy hats. It's just,
I was looking for
it's
my cowboy
so
hat.
rare and so dope to see Black
The black
people singing country music, and it just makes you pause and get into it because his energy is contagious. It jumps off of his page.
And that's what happened with Willa Walker Jr.
Yeah,
he gave me the pick and everything.
Or know all of the words to that. He also does ESG, Pimp C, Kiki, all of them. So it just, you know, depends, but I love those posts. I think that those should stay. I would love to see a little bit more of you rapping them.
I know.
You know, seen a few, and I love those, but just making sure that people know the difference between the two. Sometimes you be digging in the crates and grabbing some songs that people have never heard before, and sometimes that might get lost in translation with, is this
What I got going on?
Right, which you have.
And that's why I like to tag the artist, and you know, a lot of people got it misunderstood and thought I was tagging them because I wanted them to see it. I like, regardless of whether he see it or not, I still feel the same way about these people. But a lot of people don't know, and that's what we was talking about with them not getting their credit, and they done so much for the game, and for you to not know, like, you know, like who these people are, like Lil O, like one of the first people from Houston with a deal, you know, like ESG, just like if they never seen him take over a crowd, even a little flip, you know what I'm saying, for them to even come back together, like a Slim Thug, Paul Wall, like all these people, like even a Don Key, like for them, like in '96 they said the world was gonna be like this, so they was ahead of their time. People don't know that, but if they had the internet, how like we doing right now, it was hands down, like, you know what I'm saying, like, because they had to work so hard for it to like, so they like appreciate it different. But it comes easier. It taught them a work ethic. And I want to learn that because, like, regardless of where you go, they still had that same work ethic. They're not waiting on nobody. You know what I'm saying? So they push it through adversity. It's just like, okay, this one way don't work. We're going to find out this way. We don't, you know, like, that's what helped me find my sound. I never gave up. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what I went through, I always came back to that. It's like they did it. And they here right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that South Side still holding. It's like, with no like major people pushing him, still got over 1 million views. You know what I'm saying? Like, for him to do that, I want to learn that.
How do you think that you can recreate that for yourself?
But I wanted it just didn't feel like. But once they gave me the like, I was like, okay, I'm on the right track. Like, but I don't want to be like leaning on it. Show me how to do it myself. But I don't want to be like, I don't appreciate you at the same time, because I do. Like, without y'all, ain't know me. Like, even with Big Bub let me do the video out there, I'm just like, man, I appreciate it. I don't want to be like, you know, like I am a fan. It's just like every day I just want you to know that like tomorrow ain't promised. So it's just like they mean that much. So like what is it? That's nothing. Just be like, say I appreciate you. If they see it or not, like oh whose song is this? Oh yeah, that's City on the Seas, that's ESG, you know, they dropped my child. That's my favorite record from him. It's just like, you know, like everybody just like they done so much. So it's like why
Yeah.
not? You know,
But
like
this is about you, bro. And
yeah, I know.
we need to step back from
And that's what I'm learning right now. It's just
yes,
how to
this is
get my
about
music out.
yes, this is about you and your talent and becoming the best person that you can be.
Yeah.
And this it, this is going to be a path that you have to walk
Yeah. And I think I
regardless.
wasn't ready for at first, but I embraced it that I was just different. You know what I'm saying? That might have been my foundation. But it's like I might like stuff that they don't like. And it's cool to be different because at one point, you know, different wasn't cool, but I embraced it. And then like I meet different people. Like when I was at, I'm talking about I was the only black person at the country show. I'm thinking like, cause he gave me tickets. Oh my God, she want to be implicated. But yeah, it was me and her. We was the only black people. And I'm like, I turn around like I'm thinking the line is for Willa Walker Jr. But I turn around, they want to take a picture with me. I'm just like, you know, it was just different. But I was just a fan of that because it was just like country music just told a story. And if I got a way of words and I can mix that with the country stuff, it's just like, you know, like we got some here, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, but it's just like a passion. It wasn't like, okay, I'm trying to be something that I'm not. This is just who I am, you know what I'm saying? I love music, you know what I'm saying? They might have started me, but now I got my own lane. I'm starting to like come into it. It's just like I told you, the cowboy hat was a joke at first, but now I just feel so comfortable. I'm going away without my cowboy hat. I'll be like, you know, it's just like a part of me now. It's just like, and they want to hear that, and then they wanted me to like do covers, and then I wanted to get into my own thing because you know, being an artist, it's just like I wanted to do something different. And like we was talking about purpose, you know what I'm saying? They started me, but now I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna keep it going, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna do my own thing at the same time because I look at like, you know, like a Travis Scott, they don't look at him like, you know, like they do the SUC, but you know, it's just a different lane. We different. And like that's what I want to be. I want to create my own
So what
lane, but I don't want to.
do you think that you can do to start engaging fans? I know that you make music and so you ain't hurting for that, but what is something that you can do you think to engage your fan base more?
Yeah, and that's why I was like when I wrote down, you know,
Before you answer that,
yeah.
who are your fans? Tell me about them. Who's some people on your page who always comment and support, and what do they
Uh,
like?
it's like a lot of different. It's like when I started like doing the country, and then they heard like a couple of the two country songs that I actually did, like the Kid Rock. They were like, "Oh, that's epic," and then I'm like, got this. I call him my brother from another, but he white. His name Todd. He was like, he started off with the Willa Walker Jr. in the country, but then he started singing the rap, and then he was like, "Oh, you're dope," and I'm like, for him to see it, you know, like for you, it's like kind of familiar, but for him to see it, it's just like somebody that don't look like me. For him to say my music dope, I'm like, okay, how do I like? And I love doing this, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, and then I got the connections. I'm like, how do I do it for myself? You know what I'm saying? This is what they want. I know how to do the music, but I don't know how to get it to them. You know what I'm saying? The music ain't the problem. It's getting to them. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's universal. It's for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my own lane, but I don't want to alienate nobody like I'm better than nobody but myself. I'm trying to be better than I was. You know what I'm saying? I know what they did, but I'm like you say, I'm in my own lane. Well, I'm trying to be in my own lane. I'm trying to create something for myself. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, how do I get it to them? I got the music. When should I put it out? It's just like, cause like I don't want to over flood them because I'm a new artist. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want like it to get lost. It's just like when I started doing shows, I was thinking like get the most material I can get out. But if I'm a new artist, they're not gonna remember my songs. It's not like so it gotta like ease it out there, and that's why I do what I do through social media. It's just like I keep putting it out there so they keep hearing it, and then when I go to the next step, they'll be familiar with it. You just want to throw a new song on them, and then nobody's, you know what I'm saying? But if I can do it through social media, but how do I come out like, okay, you can come approach me, like people will approach the OGs. You can approach me, we can chop it up, like network. I don't want nobody to feel like I feel like I'm better than nobody, just myself. The only person I'm in competition with. But I want to do like music with everybody. It's not just one just genre either. Like when I was talking to Lo, my boy, Trillinger, my guy right there. Gotta shout him out. So and we had a long conversation, you know what I'm saying? It's just like trying to be different. But it's just like, how do you do it? We want to do, just don't know how to do it. Then I got like a rocket, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that can like articulate what I'm saying, because like USUC too, but you can like it's like universal. You can talk to people that I can't. Like I say, when I'm rapping, it comes out fluently. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing something like this, it's new, but that don't mean I shy away from it. I'm actually drawn to it. I want to learn even more. You know what I'm saying? Let me get comfortable with it, like it was with rap. Like like when the interview first started, I was like nervous. I'm still kind of nervous because it's just like I don't know, like
Is this your
yeah, it's
first
just like
interview?
yeah. But I'm like
What?
I'm ready for it. I was taking down
Wow.
notes. I'm like,
Oh.
look, because I
Oh
know, Rocky gonna tell
God.
me, the do's and the don'ts. I'm taking down notes because I just want to learn. You know what I'm saying? I want to get the music
Yeah.
out there. Yeah, you know what
Wow.
I'm
I
saying?
your first interview.
Yeah, that's why
Wow.
I watch stuff. Is like my vision is different. I watch and I study. You know what I'm saying? How do they do this? Like they don't just come to the show. They actually prepare for the show. They prepare for the show all
Yeah.
day. Whatever they need to do to get in their routine. They don't just show up and then be unprepared. That's why I wrote down like notes. I was really taking notes. I'm like, okay, look,
What
how you gonna?
question are you then? So I'm gonna go back to the other question that I had. What are some things you think that you can give your fans more, your current fans more of?
Like the content that they want to hear. Now I'm like I'm learning how to get it out there. Like we was talking about the different platforms you can get your music to people because that was like once they start listening to me on Instagram, they were like, "Hey, where do we go get your music from?" And I didn't know, but I'm like, "Hold on, let me go figure it out." Okay, now do I like if I put out the EP first? I'm like, okay, 4 songs that way like they can get familiar, and I wanted to like have it different. I didn't just want just one song going this way. I wanted them like sort of like the versatility, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like how do I get them what they want? You know what I'm saying? And then to stay in tune with them and have that balance. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I want to do. I want to have balance to where everybody that like support me and mess with me, I want to like give it back, like to gain the support like the OGs did. But I want to do it my own way. But I don't know how to do that. I know how to do music. Like
Right.
it's like
Okay.
so I
Well,
need to know the
I'll
next
tell you
steps.
what. Let's talk about what made you of ESG.
Yeah,
What made you a fan of him? What are in fact what what are 3 things that you like about ESG that made you be like, you know what, I'm gonna listen to everything that he comes out with?
cause he was funny. It's just like what I'm saying. Like I like seeing a lot of myself in him, cause he can be serious, but he can say it in like a funny way. You know what I'm saying? Like people learn how to like lie with a straight face. He tell the truth while he laughing. And then the fact that he can take over a crowd just with the power of his mind, you know what I'm saying? And his energy. No, you know what I'm saying? Just like man, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like his story. Everybody was waiting on that verse. Everybody know like it's ESG. And like just and then when I met him, he like the same person, you know what I'm saying? Like what you see is what you get, you know what I'm saying? But everybody rock with him. And I don't think like I, I met a person that didn't, you know what I'm saying? Just the like his style just universal. And then I don't really think in the beginning like I think he relied on his talent, but then he started taking it serious because I feel like they was real street dudes. Cause you see him, it's just like I'm young, I don't know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? But I know like that's something I want to do. You feel me? So it's just like they just influence so much, just his whole energy and how he can, like take over, like I say, take over a crowd. But then he showed me how to like to have that work ethic and just to keep
Mm.
grinding, keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? And every
So,
time I seen him and he didn't know me, came around, everybody respected him.
so how can you take those things, his energy, his um laughter, his performance skills, how can you take these things and make them a part of you, a part of your brand? And an even better question is, how can you put them into your content on your page?
And that's what I'm like. That's what I'm getting into now. It's just like when we was talking about like the country. When I put on a cowboy hat, they're not expecting me to like even rap how I rap. But when I mix that with the country, it's just like because they call us people that's not from here call us all country anyway. I'm like we the fourth largest city, you know what I'm saying? So they like we country because we in our own lane. So they thinking we slow, but it's not like we just didn't have what they had. So if I could take his energy and put on a cowboy hat and then like embrace that, then I done created a whole nother character and he get into it. Everyday street gangster. He like, you know, but he separated Cedric Hill, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like I had to learn how to do that for myself, like we was talking about. Like just embrace it. Look, just the cowboy. Look, this is who I am, man. You know, that's just how we talk. But that don't mean like we know less than anybody else. I feel like we know more because we had to do more to get here. Now, like getting there could be easy. Staying there is hard. You know what I'm saying? You got to know like what the do's and the don'ts are. You know what I'm saying? But for him to be like solid his whole career, you know what I'm saying? Who wouldn't want to like base it off of that? But I don't want to like. I still want to do my own thing. Be like, oh no, that's the dude ESG brought in. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that's young Husain. He messed with ESG. You know what I'm saying? Because they already established. I'm trying to get to it here. And talent only gonna get you so far. I
So,
feel like if I had work ethic.
so how can we what is one thing that you feel that you need to work on to get to the place where you feel like you're actually doing it? I know you said from before that you're trying, but what is one thing that would make you feel like you're actually doing it?
Like to don't worry about who watching. Now I'm starting to really get into this character of like now I don't want to say a character because it's who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like young Hussein, I'm like shedding who I used to be or who I was trying to be. It's just like all about like that's my foundation, that's my background. The SUC and Switch House, all the Houston greats. But the young Hussein, that's who I really am, and I'm coming into that person and just seeing like even you and like what y'all do. That's motivation enough for me to do my own thing and like sustain it and just like go figure it out. Like don't just like okay they not listening. I don't know who's listening. Let me go like out and reach to fans. You know what I'm saying? Because when I do that, like oh yeah I know who you are. And then we get talking, we have a lot in common. So it's just like, okay, just keep pushing, keep mashing, man. You know what I'm saying? Just do what they taught you in your own way, and it's starting to work out. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know, like this be a big push in the right direction. Like when you be like, I want to do this, yeah. I'm like today, I like cleared out everything. Look, I'm make time, like you know, because it's like I think y'all hold yourself like that, but it's just like y'all earned that, and I want that. You know what I'm saying? Like we was talking about before the corona, I was just like being able to just like to pick his brain. It's just like you know what I'm saying? Read the comments, be like, even you is just like keep it chill Thursday. It's just like if we had this back then, it would be like we'd be so much bigger than what we already are. But they don't get the credit for it. But I think like, you know, like if I stay in this lane, I'll be able to like help with that, even if I contribute. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta be a star, just put me on the team. I just, you know what I'm saying, wanna have purpose and take this talent and like really take it serious. You know what I'm saying? I don't wanna be the person at the talent with all the talent at the like at the park. You know what I'm saying? I really wanna get in the game, but I wanna learn how to do that. And what better way to
So
do it than
learning how to do that, I know you mentioned that you have some questions written down. Oh man. I'm nervous about these. You're smiling, but I'm nervous.
nah, because you know, like you asked me a question, and I like I know it. I don't know if you ever thought about it, like your Mount Rushmore. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like other Houston artists. You know what I'm saying? Like no wrong answer. It's just like what they tried to do with the what's the name, but it went over a lot of people's head. Because me personally, I think they're all kings. You know what I'm saying? Like he a king over here. He ruled over in this part of the land. Flip a king over here. He ruled in that part of the land. But we all come together. Like they make it work. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like if you took one spark plug out of the car, like the whole car start running. Like every part is important. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, but it went over a lot of people here. They put them against each other, and these dudes like they came up together. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, I had a lot of questions like that, like because you be around it, but like you know, like I'm looking
So
at it from afar,
question,
like your Mount Rushmore.
my Mount Rushmore. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah, that is really putting me on the spot, bro.
All right, I will put.
You know, you know, oh man. See, it was so different before I knew these guys, you know?
Okay.
Like
All right.
now I'm like conflicted because I actually know and get along with, and it's changed for me because, you know, like I don't know. That's gonna be hard to say because I'm not just a fan anymore.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of people's character, and you know, from the it's different for
yeah,
me. So I
I
usually
know.
self out
And
discussions.
how do you like balance that? You know what I'm saying? Like getting, you know, like okay, so you've been around, you know what I'm saying? Like this, the longevity and staying relevant. You know what I'm saying? Just the things you need to do. Like, cause you know, like nowadays, like you can be gone for a minute and people can forget about you. You know what I'm saying? So just staying with new content and how much should you put out? You know what I'm saying? Getting
Mm.
from point A to point B and not being stagnant. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this one thing may have worked then, but then like people, we in the microwave generation, they might want this right now, but I don't feel like they know what they want till we give it to them as artists.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? But if we don't stay with it and be have a balance.
now you should find out what works for you and what works for your fans. Stay consistent. That is the biggest thing. Staying consistent and staying in touch with your already existing fans. Because it's the internet, the world is your oyster, right?
Yeah.
You could literally hashtag any town that you want to visit and take it over by just reaching out to people and, you know, checking out like different scenes. It's the internet. So, you know, you have free reign. You can do whatever on it. Now the difference in being able to make an impact and hold on to the fans that you make is your consistency on your own page and with your art that you're putting out. Your art that you're putting out has to be of value to the people who you're reaching out to. So on my end, when I talk to music artists who are both, you know, older, have been in the game, and have are just starting out, the advice that I have is the same: be consistent, be yourself, and also make sure that your art that you're putting out is a good reflection of who you are and what you stand for. I I'm trying to think of how I want to word this, but like when I first started working with um he had about maybe a little over 50,000, maybe close to about 60,000 followers. And he grew his fan base not just based off the fact that he's ESG.
Yeah.
He
I
grew
know.
his fan base based off the fact that he don't
He
give
interact.
yeah, he he's gonna post whatever he wants. He's gonna post how whenever he wants. He'll post 5 times in a row. Like really, for me, helping him with his with social media meant just making sure that his content varied, right? Because,
Yeah.
you know, just making sure that he's not just meme, or,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just video, or promo.
Yeah.
You
He do some
gotta
shit.
flip it. You gotta switch it up. You gotta like keep it new and different and not post 100% of the same thing. If
Yeah, that's what I
all
try to
you
do.
post a CD cover over and over and over again, you're gonna lose followers.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, losing followers happens. Like
Mm-hmm.
people follow to unfollow all the time. I
Yeah.
don't even, you know, harp on that. But what I will say is keep it fresh, keep it interesting, try different things. You know, like even if you're just sitting in the car smoking with, you know, whoever, they say don't post yourself smoking on, you know, platforms, but you know, you can't even hardly tell where weed is legal and where it's not no more.
Yeah.
So like I'm like whatever about that. But uh you know, but if it's just you kicking it with your friends, like people want to see the realness. That is
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
builds that platform, right? So seeing you with your kids, seeing you at work, seeing
Yeah.
you, you know, on the job, and seeing you just in the camera, like, you know what really, you know, grinds my gears, you know, like
Yeah.
you just being real with your fans and your audience. They want to support, makes them want to support you because you're putting yourself out there and saying, look, love it or hate it, this is who I am, and this is what I do. So not just only posting when you have music, which you don't
Yeah.
do. You post, you know, different
Yeah,
posts, and you
and
keep it
that come
new.
from watching them, not
Yeah,
just the ESG, but it's just like like they stand on it, and it's what they believe. You know what I'm saying? I try like to just not like just follow them, but that's just what I do anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I'm starting to like just really embrace it. This person that who I'm becoming. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to like fall in love with it and like it. You know what I'm saying? Because like the videos came accident. You know what I'm saying? And then but it just made me feel better. One video after another. And then I didn't care what nobody thought or if because they was gonna think what they was gonna think anyway. So if they're gonna judge me anyway, might as well be who I'm gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like crazy thing is I'm the only friend that don't smoke. I don't you know what I'm saying? It's just like this is my drug. It's just like I started taking it serious and then it's just like that's where the videos came from. But it seemed like every time I always caught some traction, something that was out of my power happened. You know what I'm saying? It's just like like my son, like the death of my baby mother. But I just kept pushing. I'm like, okay, now it cannot be in vain. And then different stuff started just opening up, and I just kept pushing. But I don't like wait for like acknowledgement, and like, cause it be so many movements and different things going on, like that be serious, and I don't take like a lot of stuff serious when I'm focused on this. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like stuff can be happening in the world. People might not need a post like that, or they might need a post like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me like break the ice or something. You know what I'm saying? Like you can scroll down your timeline and not be so serious. This dude with goals and a cowboy hat singing country. But I really like listen to country, like so it's just like when y'all sing it's like big 10-gallon hat just fit. Like before Big T died, when I seen him out there, he like, boy, I got that 10-gallon hat hit. I was just
mm.
like, what I'm saying? Just like he didn't even know who I was then. But it's like,
You
yeah,
have,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
do you have another question? I'm gonna try to get you on call.
okay. It's just like when you was talking about like going to the next level, like because I really like listening to you. Like I told you, I value your opinion with the like the shows, not paying for shows, but like it's just like, but I want to perform. It's just like not even about paying. It's just like I love performing too. Just like just the energy. It's just like I don't know. I perform around here all the time. Just like taking that next step to where like they can not just hear me, but they can see me. That's why I like started the next step to actually find people that do videos because they can hear the music, but they want to see me too. Hey, when you come here, I had like a fan ask me to come to Nashville. You know what I'm saying? Just like I don't even know how would I get to Nashville from here, but I know I'm gonna try. Even like in Florida, but I heard crazy people in Florida, but I feel like crazy people are everywhere. But, like my brother
Mm-hmm.
Todd, he's in Florida. He was like, yeah, you need to come out here and go through the campuses. And then the coronavirus hit. So just like getting shows and what would be the best route to go to take it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, so here's the thing. As when I was on my don't pay for shows mission, um, I had a lot of people who kind of, were like, oh yeah, don't pay for shows. And then I had some artists who challenged me on that, who there were artists. Now, if it would have been a promoter, I would have been like, shut them down. But these artists were like, these people don't really know us, right?
yeah.
And we want to get fans.
Mm-hmm.
And how do we do that if we're not financially supporting in some kind of way? How do we separate ourselves? And I have to tell you, it really made me pause, because if that's not a way in, then what way do you get in?
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
So as far as shows, Now that's one thing that you can do, is you can just wait and build up your audience, right? And go and show love and hand out your music, and use your gift of gab to make friends everywhere you go, and hit social media hard and grind it out that way. That is a way. But I also don't want to negate the fact that going and performing is also another way to build a fan base. Unfortunately, in this industry, and this is something that I've seen firsthand, because this is not regulated, it's iffy on who to pay, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Like,
saying.
give me my proper time, or is the show gonna get canceled? If the show gets canceled, are you gonna give me my money back? Like, it's a lot of iffy things with that even. And honestly, I'm still trying to figure out who is the right person to pay for what. But at the same time, figuring out who your brand aligns with, right? Who do you sound similar to? Whose audience would translate into your audience? So, like, something that you mentioned before was wanting to wear the cowboy hat. So you performing or opening up for artists who wear cowboy hats, Black artists who wear cowboy hats, would be a thing, right? Because it would be a so that would make sense. Now, you wearing a cowboy hat and going to open up for Slim, it may not work out. And you may out a couple grand and walk away with only a couple additional fans. But it just depends on, I'm not saying that you have to be exactly like the person that you open up for. I'm just saying that it makes it easier for that audience to embrace you and accept you if the person that they came to see is similar.
It's similar.
Yeah. So that's just a suggestion when it comes to, or a couple of suggestions when it comes to paying to open up at a show. If you are gonna do it, I would, for one, know who you're paying and trust them with your money. Know that nobody has really had any problems with them. Hear from the streets, talk to other artists, hear who they've paid to open up for, and then start really dissecting it until I can officially come out with my approved database of people who are actually going to handle their business properly. In the meantime, you got to do that yourself and figure out, like, hey, this person is a good person, such and such referred me to them. They, charge such and such amount to open up for them. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And like I said, this is an extreme way from you first heard me say don't pay to open for artists. Now artists have changed my mind, and so I'm saying, if you are gonna pay, know who you're paying, make sure that they're good people, and also make sure whatever artist you're opening up for aligns with your brand.
I'm writing all that down.
Okay. So if make sure that they're good people, know who you're paying, and make sure that the artist aligns with your brand that you're opening up for. And sometimes it works, sometimes having somebody who's different opening up for, you know, an ESG or a flip, it sometimes it works, but it is risky. It's very risky. It could be you know, a hard sell sometimes, especially opening acts. Just being honest with you, opening acts, people halfway listen anyway. Half the time. You have to be extremely phenomenal for people to even pay attention, because they're just coming, you know, for that,
for the main act,
for the main act anyway. They just so happen to catch you, so you really gotta catch their attention, like really. And so, you know, deciding the early phases of that are figuring out who you are, what makes you tick, what makes you special, and what is gonna make you stand out in front of these people.
Okay. All right.
It's turned
I'm just
into
writing it
from
down.
oh,
Yeah.
oh good. So what
yeah.
else? What else do you have for?
Well, like indirectly, you kind of like answered everything. You know what I'm saying? Just like from what we just talked about with the social media and everything. Like, you know, just keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? So just like, because I really want to like get into just doing showcases, and I'm like, if I can get like 1 or 2 new fans every showcase or something like that, or just being around, like that's a win for me. Because if I like stole more than I like had the day before, I feel like that's a win, and that's giving me traction in the direction I want to go. And, you know, like
Yeah,
this is so much.
there are, you know, it's more than just about going to the show and performing. This is where a lot of artists mess up. I see them go perform, open up for someone, and then leave.
Yeah, I like the network.
Yeah, you gotta stay, you gotta talk, you gotta mingle. You can't just hole up inside of yourself in a corner, especially if you're paying to open up for this individual. It's not even about that getting to that individual.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be about that, right?
Yeah.
You're
I know.
there for your career. You ain't there for ESG's career if you're opening up. You're there for your career and building your fan base. He already sold out that. You're trying to get there. And because you're trying to get there, I don't want to say that ESG doesn't matter, because he does, but that's just the icing on the cake. If you're that great, he'll come and find you and tell you how great you are. In the meantime, you got to get into that audience and mix and mingle and say, hey, you know, how'd you like the show? You know, I just want to see if you would check out my music. You know, or not even just coming across as a salesperson, like just, hey, you know, do you come here often? Or like, you know, do you stay here? Or I even tell artists all the time, mingle with other artists who are opening up for that artist.
Yeah.
That's a really good way to make a whole lot of good connections and find more shows in that area.
Yeah, I know.
If you're Natchitoches and, you know, like, or Nashville, and, you know, you just went to check out the scene, find out where the hip hop artists are. They're going to tell you where everything is at.
Yeah, I know.
They're going to tell you where.
You'll find that easy.
They're going to tell you where to eat. They're going to tell you where not to go. They're going to tell you who not to deal with, and they are very important. Artists are a very important source in this hip hop industry. They will tell you the truth um, about who's trustworthy and who is not. So, yeah.
Okay. You know, I
And
gotta
as far
take all it.
as is concerned, I love the content that you put on your page now.
Yeah.
I would just more along the lines, just make sure that you are connecting with your audience and not talking at them, right? Like not,
Yeah.
you know, always doing the same type of content where, you know, you're singing over someone else's music. Connect with them. Hey, you know, I'm having a rough day today, or just, you know, it's hard for artists, sometimes even Black men, to be vulnerable with people who they don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Right? But if you can't trust the people who are on your platform, make your page private and go underground and just, you know, you're in, when you are a celebrity, people are gonna be in your business.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be in your business, whether
Yeah.
you like it. So at this point in time, you may as well just get used to it and put yourself out there and just say, look, this is who I am. And I can tell you right now, all of the people who made it, who are now famous, making it off of social media, got that way because they're just themselves. Kevin Gates even is a huge, he just got famous off of talking about eating booty.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I know.
he was raw, he was real,
Yeah,
he
I
was,
know.
and that's the thing that people look for right now. It's different from Lil Flip don't have to do that, you know. He don't really have to do that, but I could tell you right now that people who are trying to get into this industry now have to. You have to. You have to expose yourself. You have to show who you really are. You have to talk that real shit, and you have to be confident about what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yo, I ain't got a problem with that. Yeah. So yeah, man, this is real like really like helpful. I'm glad we did this. For real. Like I'm just so ready like just to create, just like to get back out there, you know?
Hey, I'm gonna be watching, bro. And of course, you know, you made a fan. I told you what made me a fan was when you did the Southside Still Holding challenge. I
Yeah.
thought really dope and original. And I think you did it in a cowboy hat. I believe you did.
Yeah. Well no, I don't think so. I don't think I
No,
did.
not that
Nah,
one.
nah. It
But
wasn't that one. It was
when I did go on your page, I saw ones of you in the cowboy hat and doing the country music,
yeah,
and you're different. You're different. And that is why I love staying on your page.
yeah.
You always give your audience something to watch,
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm saying. And
you
I wanted to
give,
be different.
and that's why I'm there. Just keep putting out the content that is not only like that, but also
Yeah,
shows who you really are too. Not
yeah,
just who he is, not just who Screw is,
yeah,
not just who Mo is, not just who they are. Cause yeah, that's important that everyone knows who they are, but it's even more important to know who you are.
yeah. I'm
That's why.
learning that right now. Yeah, I'm steady. I'm so ready to just get out there right now. For real.
Okay. Okay, and it looks like we're done. I don't know, y'all. It seems like this turned in from a interview into school session, but you know
Yeah, I know
what?
it. That's why I was already planning. I ain't
No
gonna lie, like, cause
question.
I ain't get to pick your brain for the South by Southwest. So I was like, got to like,
Yeah, somebody was gonna have these questions, and I'm so glad that you were the one who asked them, bro.
yeah,
I really do. And I'm staying a fan of yours. Thank you so much for chopping it up with me.
thank you
And
for that.
I'll be bringing you back on here, and we're gonna talk
I'm,
about
I'm,
the you.
yeah, yeah. And then I had a cowboy hat. I guess
Oh yeah,
twin had it.
you cowboy head.
Yeah, I guess I had a cowboy hat. Twin just walked out here. So.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna stop this now, and if you just wanna hang on for a second so I could tell you thank you. But in the meantime, thank you so much, guys, for
Yeah,
tuning. This was a rocky road.
yeah, yeah. First of me. Yeah, it's going down. Hey, hold
Thank y'all.
She doing a TikTok dance. Hold on.